Hi, this is Jason Major with Sweaty Hero Comic Bargains, and today I'm going to go over some free comic book day things that you could have found. These are ones that are called Free Comic Book Day. Usually, Free Comic Book Day is once a year in May. Now, there are also other events throughout the year, so we'll call this Free Comic Book Day for all seasons. So, for example, Superman Day. They want to advertise Superman with the new movie coming out in 2025 as of time of the video. So they do Superman Day, and they say, hey, you can pick up a free Superman comic. This Superman comic, Superman for All Season, is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's also reprinted in a Superman magazine that just came out, and you can buy it like Shoppers Drug Mart, which is kind of cool. And that magazine had three stories. It had Superman for All Seasons. It had the first issue of that. It had the first issue of All Star Superman. It had the first issue of Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. All of those are really just series. It kind of sucks that they're not complete stories. But the magazine is like 15 like over $15 American, but it is a cool like a 100-page hardcover, not hardcover, but square bound magazine. But this is an example of like you going to the comic store, and there's sometimes they will give away free comic book day on different events they're doing. Maybe your comic store is having a promotion. Maybe your comic store is doing a summer sale and says, hey, you know what, we have some free comic book day stuff still left over. Maybe they're doing Batman Day or Star Wars Day or various things. Also, you will tend to find sometimes that some comic stores will, once they're done free comic book day, they'll put these in the dollar bin, and so you'll be able to still get them for $1 at most. You know what I mean? Or they'll sell them for a quarter. So these are examples of you finding hidden comic bargains for all seasons. This is DC All In. It also is a flip book, and it is a DC Absolute Universe. Absolute Universe being this kind of like dark and gritty universe. The thing that I think makes Absolute Universe probably work for people is that, unlike New 52, it doesn't replace the main universe. So in other words, you get your cake and eat it too. You get to, like, if you love the legacy stories and you want to see the legacy stories move forward, you got the All In. If you want to see a completely different take, an Elseworld, if you will, or a What If, you get to have Absolute Universe, which may last for a few years. So that's cool that you have this kind of flip book. Kind of neat. I really enjoyed this. Star Wars. Marvel in 2025 decided to do another revamp of the Star Wars title. It had been 10 years by that point. So they now are doing Star Wars stories with Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO that take place after Return of the Jedi, which is going to be a cool period to look at. I'm looking really forward to that because that is my jam. As someone who was born and loved Return of the Jedi and loved those classic characters, and feel that they really haven't. Disney should have done more with animated series and comic books about that era. That is kind of cool, and so the artwork in this is really good. I really like it, and then it introduces. There's also another series about Kylo Ren. And then that they're doing Legacy of Vader, it's called, and then Jedi Knights, which I'm not sure what era. I think that's going to be like Jedi Knights. This is Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan prior to Episode 1. So I don't know if the series is going to be more of an anthology series, but then in the back it introduces some of the new characters. So I found that a lot of the Marvel Star Wars comics are pretty cool, and they also, as I've said before, they come in Epic Collection, and they have done all the Dark Horse stuff in Epic Collection, and so you can get all the whole thing in chronological order in Epic Collection and for Star Wars. But you also can get Star Wars Modern Epic Collections for the Disney stuff is coming soon. Those are great deals. Check them out. Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Universe. As a Spider-Man guy, I would recommend holding on to these Spider-Man ones. This one is. I'm gonna have to reread this one because. Yeah, I did read this one before, but this is John Romita Jr. doing the art, who has done Spider-Man art since the 1980s. So he's done the 1980s, and then he went on to do other titles, and then he came back on to Peter Parker Spider-Man during the Clone Saga, and then he switched from that and flipped from that book to doing the. And then when they rebooted Peter Parker Spider-Man, they kept him for a bit too. And then later on, he flipped from that book to Amazing Spider-Man, which when JMS Straczynski came on, stayed on that book for a long while, and then did a whole bunch of different things in between for the next couple decades, and then has done lots of Spider-Man issues in the last few years. So he keeps on wanting to come back to his buddy Spider-Man. So that's kind of cool. That has a preview of that, and it also has a preview of the Ultimate Universe in this one. This is a preview, again, Batman Day. So you see it's Batman Day, not Free Comic Book Day. Batman The Long Halloween. Halloween, another day where you can go and get free comic book days stuff. Also, this is the summer as I do this video. Go look in the summer, see if you have some bargains. These might be in the dollar bin. They might be in the 50-cent bin. Maybe they're selling them for a quarter. Some people will buy a whole bunch of free comic book day stuff, and they'll sell them as grab bags. And so you'll get them as a grab bag, and you can say, okay, grab bag. You can get this grab bag. It might be the same title, it might be different titles, and get them a grab bag to give away on Halloween, for example. That's another example of you getting free comic book day stuff. Godzilla. Here's a Godzilla IDW one. We got a Kylo Ren. This again says Trick or Treat Halloween, so that's a Halloween day. So you want to go around Halloween to get your free comic book day stuff. This is Transformers G.I. Joe Energon Universe by Image Comics and Skybound Entertainment. These have been really great. It's really surprising to see how high Transformers is getting. This Joker story is for, again, Batman Day. It says Batman Day, so it's not for Free Comic Book Day. And this Joker story is actually by Jason Fabok, which is a local, to me, artist. He's from the Windsor, Ontario, Canada area. One of my favorite artists, and a great human being, too. Just happens to have a similar name as me. Worked on the Batman 3 Jokers story. If you've not read Batman 3 Jokers, highly recommend Batman 3 Jokers. Here is a Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man from 2019. This one is for kids, so there are Free Comic Book Day stuff that are for kids. This is Wayne Family Adventures. I actually have two of these for some reason, by accident probably. So there are kid-friendly ones. This is a Star Trek one from IDW. Then we got Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four-ish one. This kid-friendly Transformer one. The Phantom is a character that some people won't remember. He's a pulp character. He existed before Superman, actually. But he's had many comic books throughout the time, and right now, I guess this independent company, Mad Cave, has picked up the license to this character. That looks like another Godzilla. Another Trick or Treat Fantastic Four. So another example of, and this is Dr. Doom writing on Mechanical Doom, Doom Tyrannosaurus Rex. And then finally we got Marvel must-haves, which is something Marvel was doing for a little bit, where it's like 3 stories in one, but it was free. So, what am I saying? Keep going to your comic store, keep supporting your local comic store. There are going to be free comic books there sometimes, but there'll also be some sweaty hero bargains. Stay sweaty.